My name is Beth Tabor. I'm the Executive Director of Compassion Outreach Ministries of Ohio. I oversee all parts of everything that we do, the Women's Center, the Men's Center, and my primary focus is C.O.M.O recovery. And our recovery program is a long-term faith-based residential recovery program. We've been doing it formally for 9 years, I think. And the way that we got into it was a really weirdo way. We had, our kids were in high school and they had a lot of friends and they brought them over to our house and we started a Bible study. And what it turned out to be was a bunch of drug addicts came to our house for a meal every Sunday night. And then it just kind of, more people that were on drugs began to come to our house as a safe place to stay. Decided I better figure out what to do with all these kids that are on drugs. And I just did a lot of research and I thought, what is really ultimately gonna help people in the long run? And so we started, bringing people in and trying to help them really figure out what was going on in their life and to get sober. And over the period of a couple of years before we formally did this, more women started coming to us, and even younger women that were in high school and then just graduating high school. And a common theme started to emerge pretty early on of young women that came to us is that they were trafficked. We knew that we needed to branch out and reach women to target women that were specifically trafficked, to offer something different than that has been offered before.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and I am a director at C.O.M.O, which is Compassion Outreach Ministries of Ohio. I run the Women's Center, which is on Sullivan Avenue, and we call it 3. A lot of people ask us why the name of our Women's Respite Center is 3, and that's because we try to reach the 3 holistic points in a person's life, which is physical care, emotional care, and mental care. So a lot of people don't know, but Columbus, Ohio is huge for human trafficking, and our goal at the Women's Center is to be an intersection for holistic care for women who are stuck in human trafficking, struggling with substance abuse, or caught in homelessness. And we do that in an array of ways. One way is we provide a lot of resources, such as showers, laundry services, food, clothes, hygiene products, in a safe place for women to come in and receive those resources, but also to receive love and care in a place where they know that they're accepted, in a place that they know that doesn't matter what's happening in their life or what has happened in their life or where they come from or what is going to happen, that they have a place that they can come and they are undisputedly loved and encouraged, and hopefully through that love and through the relationships that we can build with women who come to the center, we can begin to have these conversations through life and we can begin to offer rescue resources. So if a woman comes to the Respite Center and they ask for rescue services because they're caught in human trafficking and they want to leave, we can immediately provide a ride to a secure location where they're housed for about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, these women are detoxed and we help them make the decision of what they want to do for the rest of their recovery. Unfortunately, what we see a lot is that women who leave the streets because of human trafficking, a lot of times they return. And that's just the reality of women who are caught in trafficking. A lot of the women that we see have been trafficked since they were anywhere from 7 to 12 years old. And what they know in their life is being trafficked, and what they know is being used and abused and being used for sex, money, and drugs. So when they decide to make a choice to leave, that choice can take many years and many tries and many attempts to actually exit that lifestyle. We have had opportunities, though, to provide recovery care for women who come from the Respite Center as well. And that means that they want long-term care, that they want to heal from their past and heal from the trauma, but also address their addiction. And we're able to provide that through our recovery program called C.O.M.O Recovery.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I am a graduate of C.O.M.O Recovery and also a survivor of human trafficking. I have been in the bottoms all my life on Sullivan Avenue and grew up in an addictive household. My parents were addicts, and eventually I became an addict myself. I lived on Sullivan Avenue for a lot of years. drugs, prostitution, and selling myself to get whatever I needed to survive. Life was really hard down there. I had no way out. I had nobody to help me get out of there. And I honestly didn't have a reason to try to help myself to get out of there. As time went on and on, just living my life down there and using drugs and just basically beating myself into the ground, in and out of jail, prison. I lost my kids in my addiction and lost a lot of family members and friends. And I kind of didn't know where to go or who to turn to or who to talk to. Right behind the 3 Center was a place where I used to sell drugs and prostitute out of. And I remember one day one of the girls came over to where I was and she told me about these women around the corner that were giving out food and all of this Bath and Body Works stuff and all this brand new stuff. And I'm like, where is it? I want some. And I ended up going over there and I met, the first person that I seen when I walked in the door was Denise. She greeted me with a smile and then I seen a couple other women in there. I met Taylor that day and I met Sam. And automatically, like, I felt super comfortable with them. I didn't feel like they were judging me or anything like that. And then I made my way into the kitchen and Beth was in there serving food. I didn't really talk to Beth at first. I actually didn't even know she was a pastor or who she was. I just really thought she was some lady serving food. So I continued to go there multiple times a week and they got to see me at my worst part of my life. Bad days, good days out there were still bad days, but they got to see me in rare form most times. And I remember sitting in the kitchen and I told Denise, I said, you know, if you don't see me in about a week, then I'm in jail. And she's like, and I remember writing my name down on a piece of paper and giving it to her because I knew she would come and visit me. I didn't have anybody else. I ended up going to jail for a felony, and it was a significant felony. And I remember like being in jail and Denise showing up and coming to visit me. And as I was in jail, I was looking at probably like 5 years in prison. And I really thought that I was gonna go. I just didn't have a doubt in my mind. I knew that, you know, I had other felonies and nobody was gonna let me go anywhere. They were gonna send me back and that was gonna be the end of it. And Denise kept telling me like, I know a place that you could go. And I'm like, nobody's gonna take me with my charges that I have. And she's like, you don't know that. I'm pretty sure that I could find somewhere for you. So I went to court and just so happened that my prosecutor was actually a nice guy, I guess, for a prosecutor. He actually liked me. So he told me that if I found a program that would accept me with the arson charge, that I could go there. And I was just like, this is not real. It's not real. And so I would talk to Denise every day on the phone. And she just kept telling me about this program, C.O.M.O, and then she finally told me like who it was. It was Beth and Taylor and everybody. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. I was like, well, do you think that they would accept me? And she's like, yeah, I already talked to Beth about it, you know? I'm like, well, my charges. And she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, she will take you. So by the grace of God, because that's literally the only person who made this happen for me, I got to come to C.O.M.O. Like for the first time in my life, I didn't run. I just sat right where I was. And again, I know that wasn't me. That was definitely, you know, God for real, you know, but I always like played that tape through my head. Like if I leave here today, then tomorrow I'll be dead or right back where I started. And, you know, there'll be no going back. So I just kind of played the tape through my head and at the end, you know, was not gonna be good. So I just stayed right where I was. And I felt secure there, I felt safe, I felt loved no matter what. And I think that was the biggest the biggest thing that kept me there was they just accepted me for who I was. They didn't think nothing of me, you know? They always told me and believed in me more than I believed in myself, so that kept me there. Like, somebody actually believes in me and believes that I can do this and be successful, so that really just kept me there. Oh, I've been to multiple programs, and I've either ran from them or, you know, faked it until I could get out of there. I think the difference is that they don't do it for a paycheck or for recognition or whatever. They do it because that's what God wants them to do. They don't do it because of the state or the government or whatever, however people pay those places. They don't do it for that. I believe that they do it because they want to do it, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. So what am I doing now? I am working every day. I graduated in August. I am working every day. I got my license and a car. I take care of my daughter. I got her back after 9 years, and I just stay in my community where I know that I'm safe and where I know that I trust people and people trust me, and I can just move forward with my life.
We serve about 150 women a week, roughly, and the staff is not enough to do it all, right? When I'm there or when staff of C.O.M.O is there to do our job, we're just doing the minimum of what we have to do. But when volunteers are there, that's when the real healing begins, because people are coming in on their off time and the time that they have. They're dedicating their free time to women that have been forgotten by society. And we could not operate or be who we are or be a place that fosters love and care and provides holistic resources without the help of so many amazing men and women who believe that the women on the streets of Sullivan Avenue are worth something, and they're worth dedicating everything they have to change their lives. If you want to know more, you can visit como-cares.org to learn about ways to get involved. You can get involved physically, you can get involved monetarily, or you can get involved in donating items as well.